Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man to go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
Queen.
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to
It's the one and only queen of receipts, the dropping gems in these YouTube streets, the lawyer Royce, nowhere to go. Tune in for the infamous morning show, giving the news that you need to know. So don't you dare miss a wake-up call. Then in the evening, I got all for y'all. Get your dose of daily vitamins. You know the queen makes it make sense. So true.
All right, hello everyone, Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen AhmadiyyahShakur show. I'm your host, Queen AhmadiyyahShakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get into the shenanigans. All right, everybody hit that like button. It's the least y'all can do. Y'all nefarious selves. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, let's see who's in here. All right, We the People is here. Darnell, Most Hated Bronze Flat Power God, Fat Boobs in the House, Desmond, Claudette. All right, Aqua Girl Rising, Nene is here, 504, Nola, Anita Harrell. All right, I see you, Claudette, Jeff ATL, it's Bree to you. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. Let's get into it, Shoshana. I see you. Vince, I am from the UK with his nefarious self. All right, so before we get started, let's have a brief word from our sponsor. Hey, my Aunt Egypt, Alice is in the house, Chris Vesey. All right, because we got to keep the lights on, honey. Please pay attention. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so with that all been said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes oil for your hair at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Kratz, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. And I know y'all better be following my dear sister Lisa Cabrera's channel, okay? And True Royal, and Gavin Richard, and Too Strong, and Corey Love TV. Do I need to keep going? Y'all better be following all my friends on here. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, hold on, I'm cleaning my spectacles. Okay, you guys know I need them sometimes. So let's get ready to get into it. Okay, let's get ready to get into it. I see Easy done crawled up in here. Miss AP. All right, Claudette coming in here all late. Look at TC Dan scraggling in. Okay, the most nefarious moderator of all times. I see you, Buckhorse DC. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it, honey, because here's the thing. Trump wrote a letter to the United States of America. And so we got to talk about it, okay? Please pay attention. I'm going to share it on the screen so y'all can see it. Hold on. All right, I'm going to share it on the screen so y'all can see it. Let's get into it, honey. Let's get into it. Trump said this is all about restoring truth and sanity to American history. Written yesterday, honey. Where do y'all hear it? Trump needs to sit all the way down somewhere, honey. Okay? If Trump thinks he's going to take me back to the times of Burning, Mississippi, honey, he has a whole nother thing coming. Do you hear the Queen? All right. Do you hear the Queen? And where's that person that used to be in here trolling us all who called themselves Trump's our daddy? Now, I'm not trying to be funny, but I know darn well that was no one other than vote blue no matter who and support the arts. Those are all the same person, okay? Those are all the same person. And when they were calling themselves Trump's our daddy, they were trying to be slick, talking about those of us who were going in on Kamala during the election. Please pay attention. Okay. College of Natural Health Sciences says, good day, Queen. Is wig still around? LOL. Why did you bring up wig, honey? I'm so glad you did, because guess what? Wig number 3 is still around, honey. Wig is still here. Wig is minding their own business, so I'm going to let wig be. But I'm so glad you brought up wig, because speaking of wig 3, which is Maggie the Black Crow, you know, I did that video about her yesterday, and if you missed it, please go back and watch, where she issued me an apology that I didn't accept. Okay, but then she did a video. Someone was in the chat and told me she was over there talking ish about us. So, you know, I'm not surprised. That apology was fake, and so is she. So I didn't expect anything different. But now, whether or not she says anything else negative about the Queen will determine how I proceed forward. You see, I'm not about going back and forth with all the YouTube beef and all that. I'm the kind of person, I like to just square up. Okay, I like to just square up. I like to pull up and we can square up. That's what I like to do. That's just where I'm at with it. Now, I know for some of you, you may be shocked or appalled and think that's ghetto, and it is. But that's how the Queen gets down. Okay, I like to throw them hands, all right? I don't like to keep talking. For what? You're not solving anything. These hands can solve some problems. Please pay attention. These hands can solve problems. All I'm just saying is drop locations. You know, we could have a celebrity YouTube edition boxing match. Give the proceeds to charity, however you want to get down. But let me go to the video, because here's what little Miss Maggie the Black Crow posted while I was on live. She went live at the same time. I'm sure she heard me say I was going live at 4 o'clock. And, you know, she was talking greasy about my friend Corey from Too Strong, because he said that he didn't want his daughter wearing the little tight stuff that they wear when they do gymnastics. And he didn't want his daughter's friends coming to the house with their butt cheeks out to get in the pool. And I don't blame him. Okay. So that's his house and his rules apply. At the end of the day, they were talking greasy about him. And one of the things that Magic was very upset about seemingly is because they talked about her being on YouTube half naked with her breast out and stuff like that. So she didn't like it. As you saw on the video I showed you yesterday, she got up and left. Okay, she got up out of there. But so now she's over there lying, or at least yesterday she was over there lying, saying that they told her she gets what she deserves for dressing like that. Nobody ever said that. They just told her that she's wearing her breast out. That's all that is. And then she talked about slut shaming. And I told you all yesterday, sluts have no shame. So how could you say shame them? But anyway, let's get into it, because she didn't really say much about me. This is what I heard her say. Now, she could have said something after this, but this is all I heard.
No, this is my house. It's like I tell you not to use the bathroom, and you do anyway. You know what I'm saying? So when I mute,
sorry, I didn't know you was muting me. So
okay.
that's fine, not a problem.
Because it's when everybody's talking at the same time, we can't get nothing accomplished, or we can't get.
Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia. I don't know.
I'm talking and you talking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's
see,
Selma.
That's what I mean.
That's Selma.
So we have to talk one at a time, please. So Maggie, go ahead and respond to what she said, please.
Okay, so Selma, I have no interest in
Fast forward just a little bit.
Believing that you were part of the troll farm. You have no reason to believe me. You have no reason to trust me. I attacked you and started saying she has the right not to accept my apology. She has the right to. Believe me, and you don't have to ever believe me, but you absolutely deserve an apology, because I had no right to say.
Out here clout chasing.
So it's like I didn't take the empathy, all my kind.
She back in the room.
Feel that she had some nefarious purpose with me that she wanted to do later on.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Now, you all already heard her apologize to me yesterday, so I didn't really want to play that. I just wanted you to hear what she said yesterday. She played the part of the video with her apologizing to me, and then she said to her audience that I didn't accept her apology, which, of course, I didn't. And she said that I have a right to not accept it and telling them not to be mad. I don't give a damn if they are mad. They ain't going to do shit. What y'all going to do if y'all are mad, honey? Come over here and talk trash? Yeah, well, I'll be dropping links if they do. Because anybody can get it. Okay? They want to get mad if they want to. Okay? The queen said what she said, and here's the thing. She said she's not mad. She understands, da-da-da. Yeah, she should understand, because what could she say? I never initiated anything. I never said anything about her or Jack. She came for me. And so I didn't accept her apology. So there's nothing she can do except deal with it. Okay? And so that's pretty much all she said. She wasn't over there talking greasy. Okay, from what I heard, she was just basically saying that I didn't accept her apology, and that's my prerogative because she was dead wrong. All right, and so anyway, and that was the best thing for her to say. That was the best thing for her to say, and just leave it there. Okay, keep the queen's name out of your mouth for future references. Anybody that comes for me is going to have harsh consequences, and I don't play games. I'm very petty, and I'll take it to a whole nother level. Okay, pay attention. Now let's talk about Trump and the shenanigans. And by the way, College of Natural Health Sciences, thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved, and asking about wig, and for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings, honey. Okay. Nene said these hands solve problems. Okay, they have been known to do so. All right, I promise you. Okay, TC Dan said just keep the queen out of it. That's all you got to do. Exactly. Panther Strike said, we'll keep an eye on this troll queen. I hate greasy talking troll and beef starters. Okay. Nelson G said, this is crazy. I'm not receiving any notifications. Honey, I keep telling you guys they're not sending them, beloveds. And I believe it's because certain people have been false flagging my channel, which I'm still working on getting to the bottom of that. But in the meantime, listen, I keep telling you all, Easy said Queen got fast hands. I sure do. Okay, listen. I post the links to the lives on my YouTube community tab, and I also post them on my Twitter. Okay, now. So you all just are going to have to do your due diligence, honey, and just be checking. Now, listen, all of y'all know that I go live every day, Monday through Friday in the mornings. Y'all know that much. Okay, so you just have to check the channel, I guess. I hate to say it. Now, I'm thinking about getting back that 1-800 number. How many of you remember when I had the 1-800 service where you could type the word Royals and then you would get a mass text with all the links to the videos? How many of you remember that? Once in the chat. Once in the chat. I may have to get that back, honey. It's looking real bad over here, real drastic. Sweet D said, the queen ain't playing with you fools. Okay, they better know it, beloved. And thank you for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate you. Okay, so some people are saying they remember. Some people don't. Panther Strike said, I remember, Queen. Great idea. Okay, so I think I'll get that service back. And then so you all can just send me your phone numbers and all that, you know, to the text the word Royals, send me your information, and then I can send out a mass text. Okay, now that we got that all situated, let's talk about this letter Trump wrote. All right, Trump said y'all asses going back to 1942, whether you like it or not. Okay, that's where you're going. And by the way, you better not complain about it or there'll be consequences. I'm lying. He didn't say that, but that's what he was thinking, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so now can you all see this? Restoring truth and sanity to American history. Y'all already know Trump's line starting off. Okay, President Donald Trump. Okay, this is from the White House, and this is dated yesterday. Just remember, you heard it here first. Okay, I just happened upon this in my little research. By the authority invested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. Section 1, Purpose and Policy. Over the past decade, Americans have witnessed a concerted and widespread effort to rewrite our nation's history, replacing objective facts with a distorted narrative driven by ideology rather than truth. Now, this revisionist movement seeks to undermine the remarkable achievements of the United States by casting its founding principles and historical milestones in a negative light. Under this historical revision, our nation's unparalleled legacy of advancing liberty, individual rights, and human happiness is reconstructed as inherently racist, sexist, oppressive, or otherwise irredeemably flawed. Rather than fostering unity and a deeper understanding of our shared past, the widespread effort to rewrite history deepens societal divides and fosters a sense of national shame, disregarding the progress America has made and the ideals that continue to inspire millions around the globe. Well, here's a thought. First of all, I'm calling BS. Okay, I'm calling BS. Talking about national shame. Well, they should have national shame. If a country has enslaved people for centuries, if a country has had over a century of Jim Crow and segregation and just the mistreatment of a certain group of people, if they have bombed people's homes in Tulsa, if they have bombed people's homes in 1985 in Philadelphia, okay, with people who look like me and the people in Tulsa look like me, okay, if they have a history of racial division, of police taking out people who look like me when they were unarmed at traffic stops, not when they were armed or in the commission of a crime, but unarmed at traffic stops. If you live in a country where you can witness 4 to 5 police officers holding down a man face down with his hands behind his back, a knee on his neck for almost 10 minutes, okay, making it difficult for him to breathe until he is dead. If you live in a country where people who look like me are found swinging from trees, dead in mountains, and the only thing that they tell us, the law enforcement personnel, is that this looks like an suicide. That is a country that should absolutely have national shame. They should be ashamed of their history, ashamed of their present, ashamed of their past, and afraid of their future. That's what they should be. Now they want to talk about rewriting history. Well, here's the thing. The people in this country have always rewritten history. When did they ever stop? They've rewritten history and taken out the bits and pieces that they don't want to be embarrassed by, the parts that they're ashamed of, and then added in their own BS. Okay, there's a McGraw-Hill book where they talk about slavery and refer to the slaves as workers, as if they willingly came here for a time. But let me continue. So the prior administration advanced this corrosive ideology at Independence National Historical Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where our nation declared that all men are created equal. The prior administration sponsored training by an organization that advocates dismantling Western foundations and interrogating institutional racism, and pressured National Historical Park rangers that their racial identity should dictate how they convey history to visiting Americans because America is purportedly racist. Well, it is. There is no denying it. There is no denying it. It absolutely is. When did it ever stop? Once widely respected as a symbol of American excellence and a global icon of cultural achievement, the Smithsonian Institution has, in recent years, come under the influence of a divisive, race-centered ideology. This shift has promoted narratives that portray American and Western values as inherently harmful and oppressive. Now, when they use words like American and Western, they're talking about the European people. Okay, they're talking about the people who don't look like us. For example, the Smithsonian American Art Museum today features The Shape of Power, Stories of Race and American Sculpture, an exhibit representing that societies, including the United States, have used race to establish and maintain systems of power, privilege, and disenfranchisement. Well, there's no lies detected in that statement. Now, the exhibit further claims that sculpture has been a powerful tool in promoting scientific racism and promotes the view that race is not a biological reality, but a social construct, stating race is a human invention. Well, it absolutely is. And those who invented it seem to try to deny its existence, which I find interesting. The National Museum of African American History. Now, I want you to listen to this part, because this is the part that really got my attention. The National Museum of African American History and Culture has proclaimed that hard work, please pay attention, individualism, and the nuclear family are aspects of white culture. Did y'all just hear that? Do I need to read it again? Did you all just hear what I said? Did you all just hear that? Let me read it again, because y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me this morning. Let me read that part again. The National Museum of African American History, that would be people who look like me, and culture, has proclaimed that hard work, individualism, and the nuclear family are aspects of white culture. I'm calling BS. Did y'all hear that? Now, they're saying that the African American National Museum of History and Culture said this, that they said that for you to work hard, to have individualism, and to have a nuclear family, that's all aspects that you find in white culture. So you don't find that in Black culture? You mean to tell me Black people don't, in fact, work hard? Black people don't have individualism, and there is no nuclear family? The forthcoming Smithsonian American Women's History Museum plans on celebrating the exploits of male athletes participating in women's sports. These are just a few examples. It is the policy of my administration to restore federal sites dedicated to history, including parks and museums, to solemn and uplifting public monuments that remind Americans of our extraordinary heritage. He's talking about more Confederate monuments, I'm sure. Consistent progress toward becoming a more perfect union, an unmatched record of advancing liberty, prosperity, and human flourishing. Museums in our nation's capital should be places where individuals go to learn, not to be subjected to ideological indoctrination or divisive narratives that distort our shared history. They don't distort history, okay? They tell the truth of it, the truth that he wants to hide. Please pay attention. To advance this policy, we will restore the Smithsonian Institution to its rightful place as a symbol of inspiration and American greatness, igniting the imagination of young minds, honoring the richness of American history and innovation, and instilling pride in the hearts of all Americans. Number 2, saving our Smithsonian. Now, the vice president, in consultation with the assistant to the president of domestic policy and the special assistant to the president and senior associate staff secretary, Lindsay Halligan Esquire, shall work to effectuate the policies of this order through his role on the Smithsonian Board of Regents with respect to the Smithsonian Institution and its museums, education, and research centers and the National Zoo, including by seeking to remove improper ideology from such properties, and shall recommend to the president any additional actions necessary to fully effectuate such policies. Okay, I'm not going to read all of this, but y'all get the gist of it. At the end of the day, they're talking about restoring truth to American history, because clearly somebody's been lying about it. And I wonder who that could have been. And then it's signed Donald Trump, the White House. Okay, and then at the end it says, this order is not intended to and does not create any right or benefit, substantive or procedural, enforceable at law or in equity by any party against the United States, its departments, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, or agents, or any other person. Okay, so, what do y'all think about that? I mean, I thought it was very, very interesting when they said that individualism and hard work. So Black people don't work hard? Black people are lazy? Is that what they're trying to say? Well, they've been saying that we're lazy ever since slavery, when our ancestors stopped working for free. I find it all interesting. So anyway, I just thought you all might want to hear that, to hear what Trump had to say. Okay. With that all being said, now, and just for your FYI, I haven't decided if I'm going to go live again. Now, you all tell me what you want. Now, I'm not going to give y'all a choice. I'm not going to give y'all a choice because I know what y'all are going to say. Y'all going to say, yeah, go live again, Queen. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go live again later or just upload some brief videos, okay, about some of the celebrity gossip that's going on around here. So first off, let's talk about Little Miss Jasmine Crockett, okay? Let's talk about Little Miss Jasmine Crockett because they're trying to go in on her. And quite frankly, I'm not here for it. I am not here for it. They're trying to go in on Little Miss Crockett because she called the governor of Texas, Mr. Gregory Abbott, some Hot Wheels. And so, they're mad. They're upset. They said that she was mocking him. They said that it was wrong. She shouldn't be mocking somebody who's disabled and all of this. But I find it interesting because wasn't it President Trump who, in fact, mocked a disabled journalist, a reporter? Do y'all remember that? Trump's mocked plenty of people, by the way. He's mocked Biden. They didn't make a big deal about it. And I find it all interesting because now they have a whole lot to say. Even Van Jones had something to say. But hold on. Let me find where I want to start. Here we go. I'm going to start right here. Okay. Even The View had something to say. They said she went too far. That's what they said. She went too far. Let's get into it. And then they said she unleashed. This is what they said. Jasmine Crockett unleashes profane attack on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's get to that first, because honey, they're always going in on Miss Jasmine Crockett because she keeps them on their toes, and she doesn't allow them to talk crazy to her and get away with it and to be disrespectful. Okay.
I now recognize the gentlewoman from Texas, Miss Crockett, for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. It should not be surprising that the president is doing everything possible to make it more difficult for the media to hold him accountable and for the public to be informed about his reckless and illegal behavior. Yet here we are. The Republicans have actually organized this goofy hearing to try to convince the American people that PBS and NPR are, quote, domestic terrorists or domestic threats. My apologies. Not the incompetent, unqualified Secretary of Defense whose texting war war plans to journalists. But it's y'all, PBS and NPR, the American people are supposed to be worried about. You can't make this up. It's as stupid as it sounds. The American people should be worried about the president threatening to investigate NBC for treason for reporting on his felony convictions, or arresting reporters and stripping networks of their licenses for not saying nice things about him or not using Gulf of America. The Republicans' witness, Mr. Gonzalez, went so far as to suggest that because NPR and PBS reported on the murder of George Floyd, they, quote, represent a danger to our physical health as well as to civic health of our body politics. Ms. Mayor, do you think reporting on the murder of George Floyd and highlighting instances of systemic racism is a domestic threat to America?
Thank you, Congresswoman. I believe it's our responsibility to report on all issues of interest to the American public.
Thank you so much. Ms. Kerger, what about you?
I agree. I think it's important for us to report on the important news of the day.
So let's talk about the critical role of public media. During his first term, President Trump's own Department of Homeland Security highlighted the importance of public broadcasting's role in public safety. In 2018, his administration stated, quote, PBS and local public television stations play a crucial role in protecting communities by delivering essential information to individuals and first responders. These benefits are all made possible by public broadcasting stations' unique reach, reliability, and role across America, and are especially vital in rural and underserved areas. Madam Chairwoman, I would ask unanimous consent. I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the 2018
Without objection, so ordered.
And Madam Chair, I also seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the 2019 report titled Modernizing the Nation's Public Alert and Warning System from Trump's.
Without objection, so ordered.
In the report, FEMA encouraged, quote, the use of public broadcast capabilities to expand alert, warning, and communication capabilities to fill gaps in rural and underserved areas. Mr. Ullman, what's a more significant domestic threat, reporting the murder of George Floyd or dismantling most of America's emergency communication systems?
Can you please repeat the question for me, Congresswoman?
Which one is more of a threat? Reporting the murder of George Floyd or dismantling most of America's emergency communication systems?
Dismantling the emergency systems.
And isn't it true that in Barrow, Alaska is the only, isn't it true that KBRW-AM in Barrow, Alaska is the only broadcast service available in an area of more than 90,000 square miles?
That is correct. It's also the North Slope, where the majority of all the oil production that comes from Alaska takes place.
Thank you so much. And isn't it true that without these stations broadcast, Americans in rural communities would lack access to life-saving information and public safety alerts?
That is correct.
So in your opinion, would eliminating funding for stations in rural America like WNGH, Channel 18, and the Chairwoman's District hurt Americans?
It would hurt Americans, yes.
In fact, Georgia Public Broadcasting serves as the official distributor of evacuation route information during state-ordered evacuations, and the chairwoman is here advocating to strip their funding. Look, the DOGE agenda isn't about government efficiency. It's about breeding corruption at the expense of the safety of the American people, particularly Americans living in rural or remote parts of the country. They don't care about public safety. They don't care about emergency management, and they don't care about free speech, all of which are harming American people. In fact, I'm gonna skip off real quick because they have tried to come for you, Ms. Mayor. And I just want to clarify, you did not work for NPR when those statements were made, did you?
That is correct, Madam
And to
Chair.
be clear, free speech is not about whatever it is that y'all want somebody to say. And the idea that you want to shut down everybody that is not Fox News is bullshit. We need to stop playing because that's what y'all are doing in here. You don't want to hear the opinions of anybody else. And the Constitution says Congress shall make no law respecting or establishing of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
Press.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
Okay, so I see some of you all talking greasy about little Miss Jasmine Crockett. I like Jasmine Crockett, okay? I mean, as you know, y'all are saying that she's all talking, she doesn't do anything. None of these politicians do anything for us, really, quite frankly. Okay, they're all just running their mouths and stealing money and doing a whole bunch of other shenanigans. In my opinion, okay, none of them are doing any damn thing. If they were, we'd have reparations. At least we'd be on our way to getting it, and we're not. So the end of the day, I like the fact that she stands up for herself and she doesn't allow them to disrespect her and just simply get away with it. And I feel like a lot of times they try to portray her as this angry Black woman because that's just what they do when Black women are assertive and stand up for ourselves. Okay, so, and she's not a raccoon, so I don't really have anything bad to say about her. Now, that's just my opinion. Y'all can feel how you want. But Dallas Representative Jasmine Crockett faces censure resolution after calling Governor Abbott Hot Wheels. Okay, so now let's talk about that because this is what they're really mad about. And then they tried to say that she hit a reporter yesterday. She didn't hit that person. It looked to me like she covered up their camera, but we're going to get into it and I'll show the clip in a second. Okay, because they need to get off Miss Jasmine, honey. That's what they need to do.
Comment getting a lot of attention across the country, and because of it, Dallas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett could be censured for what she called Governor Greg Abbott. IO Politics reporter Jack Fink with how the governor is responding.
Y'all just pray for me, because who knows what I'm going to end up saying.
That's how Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Dallas began her speech Saturday before the Human Rights Campaign. Minutes later, she made the remarks that have made national headlines.
As we in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey.
How are you doing? Good. Governor Abbott responded in an interview with Sean Hannity on Fox News Channel.
Is another day and another disaster by the Democrats. The reality is they have no vision, no policy. They have nothing to sell but hate.
Republican Congressman Randy Weber from Texas's Gulf Coast filed a censure resolution against Crockett Wednesday. And Weber posted on X, quote, "She must be censured and held accountable for the venomous rhetoric she spews as a representative of the Democratic Party." In a posting on X Tuesday, Crockett said, quote, "I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by Black mayors, deliberately stoking tension and fear among the most vulnerable." Matt Engel is a Democratic political consultant.
I don't think it ever helps to call people names and to be personal. And again, I don't think that she meant to be malicious. Again, she's smart. She thinks quickly. And my guess is that I haven't talked to her, but my guess is that if she could take it back, she would. The most disappointing thing to me, though, is that it really distracted from the most important thing about Greg Abbott, and that is that he's a terrible governor.
Put a nasty personal attack against one of the most popular governors in Texas history.
Conservative political consultant Matt Makoviak says Congresswoman Crockett's remarks have hurt her politically.
That's just because they're mad because she's Black and she cracked a joke on somebody who isn't. That's what this is all about, okay? I don't give a damn what she said about Governor Greg Abbott, and y'all shouldn't either. At the end of the day, y'all heard about him dropping off all those darn illegal immigrants in your neighborhoods, right? Yeah, let's talk about it.
It's fine to have policy disagreements. It's fine to at times use over-the-top language if you're trying to get people's attention. But these sort of nasty personal attacks against people, particularly when someone's disabled, really is beyond the pale. And that's why I think you're going to see pressure continue to be applied, I think, to this particular member of Congress.
Congresswoman Crockett's office didn't return my request for a comment to the censure resolution. Also of note today, Senator John Cornyn launched his 2026 re-election bid, and it comes as Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton considers running against Cornyn in the Republican.
All full of crap, okay, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, honey, they're mad because she doesn't take any mess. And I knew that was going to be a problem eventually. You see, the only types of people that look like me that they like are the kinds that talk like Herschel Walker, Tim Scott. Okay, that's the kind they like. Those are the kind of Black folks they like. They don't want somebody that's going to stand up to them and talk crazy to them like they talk crazy to us. They don't want to hear that. And I find it so interesting that they're talking all this trash about her, saying that she mocked him. It was a joke. Get the hell over it. She called him Hot Wheels. How bad is that? Okay, he's in a wheelchair. That's not really mocking him. That's cracking a damn joke. And they're just taking it too far. Okay, if Marjorie Taylor Greene had said it, there would be nothing said. But here's the thing. They're nothing but a bunch of fake ass hypocrites. Okay, because what about this?
Donald Trump facing new criticism for something he did on the campaign trail last night in South Carolina while defending his debunked claim that he saw thousands of Muslims celebrate the collapse of the Twin Towers here in New York. He appeared to mock a reporter with a disability. Take a look.
Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. This is 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction.
That reporter he is talking about is Serge Kovaleski, who now works for the New York Times. As you can see right there, he suffers from a chronic condition that impairs movement of his arms. A Times spokesman says they find it outrageous that Trump would ridicule the man's appearance.
No, that was some bullshit. Okay, Trump was dead wrong for that. He was definitely mocking. That was mocking. That was intentional. That wasn't a joke. He was serious when he showed them how the man moves. Now that's mocking right there. Okay, go in on Trump about that. Leave little Miss Crockett alone, honey, because as far as I'm concerned, she didn't do anything wrong. Okay, that was just a lighthearted joke. Okay, Hot Wheels. What's the big deal? Now, here's the thing. Even Van Jones, like I said in The View, the host had something to say, which nobody cares what The View has to say. They need to shut the H up as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'm going to go to this clip. And due to copyright issues, I'm going to put on a little music and throw up an overlay so we can hear what they have to say, because they are always talking out of turn, okay, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, now let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance.
Well, the ladies of The View had some criticism for Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
The reason? Her comments that she made about Texas Governor Greg Abbott at a human rights campaign event. Here she is this week.
A lot of people see you out front fighting, but nobody's really asking you, what do you need to maintain that fight? So thank you so much, Morgan, because we in these hot Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey. So yes.
The View co-hosts were not too fond of her remarks. Take a look.
She's effective. People gravitate towards her. This was beneath her because Marjorie Taylor Greene, we expect that. That's the only way she can get a headline is by saying crazy stuff and then everyone looks. Representative Crockett is so much better than this.
Because I respect her, but it's just never okay to mock someone's disability, whether you're Donald Trump or Jasmine Crockett. He was paralyzed from the waist down, Governor Abbott, and when he was 29 years old, a tree fell on him. It's a tragedy, whether you like him or not.
I think that
not a good idea.
Yeah, you just don't mock people with disabilities. I mean, you don't mock people. I was going to say you just don't mock people at all. And I admire Jasmine Crockett. I do think she's an effective messenger. I think this was a mistake, and I think when you make a mistake, you have to own it. You have to do that because it gives you a lot more credibility when you do that.
Representative Crockett wrote on X after receiving backlash, I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by Black mayors, deliberately stoking tension and fear among the most vulnerable. Literally, the next line I said was that he was a hot mess, referencing his terrible policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition. So I'm even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for his racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those with disabilities, are now outraged.
Governor Abbott told Sean Hannity that Democrats have nothing to sell but hate and that this is why Texas will always stay red. I think her excuse that that's what she meant is laughable and that there's no way that that's what she meant because people have suggested on social media that she's previously, I think, liked comment tweets that had that same characterization. Like she's trying to say this is just about this recent deportations issue. Then why were you liking that comment before again? So yeah, she's getting some deserved heat for this. It's just funny to me. It was at the Human Rights Campaign dinner. Have they
Talk
said
about
anything
not knowing your audience
about this yet? I was talking to Amber yesterday, who hosts Rising on Fridays. She sits in my seat, and she was pointing out that I think there was 2 disability rights advocacy groups that have given awards to Jasmine Crockett. We'll see if they have anything to say about it either.
Yeah.
It's not good. So, I mean, everybody's saying on the Democratic side, well, she's so effective. She's so good as a media surrogate for Dems. So this is just a little insipid mistake she made. What is she doing so right other than this?
Yeah, I think that she is very quote unquote authentic.
It's a but she fights thing?
Well, she's quote unquote authentic, right? The magic word in politics. And I think that does get people energized, especially on the left and especially in this moment.
Okay, I've heard enough because he was really pissing me off with his ugly nerd looking self, sitting up there mad and butthurt and been out of shape. And I bet you he didn't say a damn word when Trump was mocking that reporter. I bet you he didn't say a thing. And, it's just always so interesting to me how they just try to add such an extra level of drama on top of it when a Black person does or says anything that they can just latch on to complain about. Please sit down somewhere. All of them can go straight to hell. Leave Miss Crockett alone. She said what she said, and she ain't taking it back, period. Okay, and so what if she liked a comment when someone said it? That's her right to do so. Okay, so they can miss me with it. And then for Greg Abbott to say that the Democrats are the ones spewing hate. I'm sorry, who were the ones that went up there and caused a whole insurrection at the Capitol? Yeah, please make it all make sense. We know who the ones that spread hate are. I'm sorry. And it's not necessarily the Democrats. Okay. All right. I think they call themselves MAGA. Okay. So anyway, honey, but let's go to what Van Jones had to say. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And if you're somebody who looks like me, you should be on Miss Jasmine Crockett's side just for general purposes, for general principle, okay? Just for GP, okay? Like they said back in the day.
MAGA? Have you been to a MAGA rally where Trump is mocking a disabled journalist or a POW or saying we should punch him out? I mean, it is rich. And let me tell you, I have been very, very out there on criticizing Trump for that disgusting rhetoric that has coarsened the language around politics.
And read the caption. Read the caption. I just noticed that. It says MAGA blast Crockett over Governor Hot Wheels dig at Abbott. MAGA has a whole lot of damn nerve to be trying to blast anybody for anything they said and trying to, really reaching, trying to say that it amounts to hate. No, it doesn't. Okay, they could sit down somewhere like I said.
It's gross. He's why we got here. And what she did was disgusting. And I am not going to accept her spin of this. It's disgusting and gross to mock someone who is disabled just because you don't like them. And if Democrats, this is your idea, this is what your party's going to do now, is do Trump, but gross, but worse, and then pretend it's not. I'm not here for this. And please do better. Please, this cannot be the answer for the future of the Democratic Party.
I mean, I think actions speak louder than words. And in this instance, I think we have a president who, when the plane crash happened in Washington, D.C., he blamed it on people with disabilities. When RFK says that autism is a threat to the American way of life, which is a disability, apparently the White House has ended ASL, American Sign Language interpreters, and briefings, which is making it inaccessible. Questioning and gutting Social Security, which a lot of disabled people rely on.
Yeah, now she's making some good points. And I want you to pay attention, honey, because they're full of shit. They're sitting up here with selective outrage, trying to be all dramatic, trying to bring this Black woman down because they don't like the fact that she's assertive and stands 10 toes down and stands on business. That's what it's all about. Okay, whether I agree with everything that she has a stance on or not, the truth is the truth. And at the end of the day, They have the nerve to be talking when you got Trump and Elon messing with Social Security and Medicare benefits for people who are disabled. Now, what she's doing is not going to hurt that man. He's going to still be living his best life. He's going to still be doing what he's doing. But what Trump and Elon are doing to disabled people, why aren't they talking about that? You mean to tell me they're more upset about Jasmine's joke than they are about what Trump and Elon are doing to disabled people? What about the disabled veterans living on the streets who can't get proper health care, who can't get proper mental health treatment or any of the things that they need after they fought for this country? But they want to talk about her comments. If they want to really act like they're concerned about disabled people, let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about things that this country does that even cause people to become disabled. But we don't want to have that conversation. Let's continue.
Medicaid, Medicare, people rely on. And in his first campaign, mocking disability. Two wrongs don't make a right, but actions speak louder than words. And the policies of the Republican, including undermining special education, ID, the Individuals with Disability and Education Act, making sure that schools are not going to be accessible. Those are the actions of this administration. Those are the actions of the Republican Party. I would rather folks be demonizing those things than.
But to be clear, you don't agree with what she said, right?
Well, her explanation was that she wasn't referring to that policy. If she
so you buy that.
But here's the thing. If you make fun of somebody.
What if she does buy it? That's her prerogative. See, this is the thing that gets me about that. People like them, people on Fox News, okay, some of these MAGA people, they want to act like we have to agree with everything they say and do. They act like our enemy or their enemy has to be our enemies. No. She didn't have to go against Crockett because you want to go against her. She's entitled to have her own damn thoughts. Okay, this isn't group think. And see, here's the problem with some Black people. Some people who look like me are absolutely afraid to speak their mind and go against the grain. They want to go along to get along because they don't want other people in politics talking greasy about them. That's how some of these Black politicians are. At the end of the day, honey, say what you mean and mean what you say. And be damned if anybody is mad about it because they can stay mad. You don't have to agree with them, but let's continue.
Because of their disability. I do not agree with that. As a person with a disability, as a person who has family members with a disability, as a person who has taught children with a disability, that is not acceptable. She said that's not what she was doing. And so I know Jasmine and I believe Jasmine if that's what she was saying.
Well, I don't know her yet. And so here's how I see it. She's new. Mm-hmm. She's young and she's trying to find her way. I think that this party is scrambling, trying to seem tough. And I'm seeing this party traffic in a lot of curse words.
Do you all hear this clown talking about she's new? She's trying to find her way. Like she's a lost, forlorn teenager who doesn't know what the hell she's supposed to be doing. And then the party's trying to act tough. And they're trafficking curse words. They're grown people. They can curse if they want to. Get the F out of here, Van. Oh my God.
That's supposed to be like the new cool thing to do. I don't think that's going to be as useful. I've even heard.
The new cool thing to do? What does he think this is, 1980? It's cool to curse? Lord have mercy. Somebody help him, honey.
Pete Buttigieg with a whole bunch of curse words. Mm-hmm. I don't know who gave that memo. I don't think that's very useful. I think you have to be very careful when you're talking about people with disabilities. And I don't think she was careful. And I don't know her enough to say she's not being honest. I'm going to tell you, it sounded bad.
No, shut the hell up. He's just being overly dramatic like the rest of them clowns. It didn't sound bad to me. And I don't see anything wrong with what you said. He is Hot Wheels, like it or not. Okay, period. All right. Jupiter Clark said, Queen, you should go on Piers Morgan and debate him. Honey, I would love to. But I can assure you that Piers Morgan doesn't want it with the Queen. Okay, I would love to go on there and debate him. Okay, good idea.
And I just want to finish. I think this party is trying to find a way to look tough and to show fight, but this is not the way. I don't think the cursing is going to work. I think I've been on stage and I've gotten a little bit hyped sometimes too.
Now, do y'all y'all see how this clown is getting off topic and trying to gaslight and deflect? Who the hell said anything about cursing? Why is this a part of the conversation? They clearly asked him his thoughts on what little Miss Crockett had to say. Now he's sitting here talking about cursing's not going to work. Well, clearly it's been working because a lot of people do it, sir. Okay, you may not want to.
I hope that she will take this as lessons. You talked about learning lessons, that type of stuff. It doesn't sound to me like she's actually taking full responsibility. If that's true, I don't like it, and she can't do that again. She's too important to us to do that again.
What I fear is that no lesson could ever be learned as long as you're doing these things in front of audiences who roar when you do it. When you have comedians who are broad messengers for the left making unfair jokes and people are roaring, when you have politicians being vulgar and saying what's the lesson?
We're trying.
What's the audience? It says a lot about the audience.
But what we're trying to deal with is that Trump has done this and he's been successful.
Yeah.
So when you have somebody who does this stuff and they're successful, you start thinking, well, is that the right way? I would like for us to say it's not. But I think it's hard for us to hear Republicans scolding us on it when your guy does it all the time. We are trying to find a way for it. Jasmine is too important to make these kinds of mistakes. I think she has a bright future. I hope that tonight she's looking and says, you know what? I don't have to do that kind of stuff to get an applause line. She's too important for us to make those kind of mistakes.
Honey, they're going to stay on Little Miss Crockett because they're just a bunch of haters, okay? The Republicans are just haters on her because I find it interesting that they don't have that same energy and smoke for Little Miss Annie Get Your Guns, a.k.a. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She said some greasy things too. You see, the problem is they're upset because Jasmine Crockett is funny, she's witty, she's smart, and she has some quick comebacks, okay? Remember, blonde, bad body, blonde built bitch? Isn't that what she called Marjorie Taylor Greene? Okay? April is International Queens Month. Love you, Queen. Thank you, beloved. And I love you right black. Okay. And thank you for not only your kind words, but your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so honey, they're clearly pressed, but they can sit down somewhere. That's what they can do. So now let's talk about how they tried to say that she assaulted a reporter. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share, honey. They need to leave Miss Crockett alone. Jasmine Crockett accused of assaulting journalists in Capitol after backlash for Greg Abbott Hot Wheels remark. They're trying to bury this woman any way they can. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to share this brief clip because first of all, she didn't hit this person. It didn't look like she hit him to me. It looked like she put her hand over the camera. Get your camera out of her damn face. How about that?
Wait, Congresswoman Crockett. Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call calling for violence on the 29th. Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Congresswoman, will you condone violence at the Tesla?
Okay, now I want you all to think about this. See, it's very important to point out that because this black woman, you know, is someone who stands up for herself and says what's on her mind, now they're coming at her from all angles. You see, this actually started days ago when they tried to lie and say that she called for violence on Elon Musk. You all heard the video because I played it for you. Now, what you need to be paying attention to is the narrative that they're trying to paint and push. Okay, they're attacking this woman. They're trying to make her the face of an angry black woman who spews hatred, who mocks disabled people, who calls for violence, okay, on Elon Musk. And now accused of assaulting a journalist. I just want y'all to pay attention because this is all a load of BS. And this is what they do to black people. They try to demonize you if you don't walk lockstep and key with what they want. If you're what they deem as being too uppity. An independent journalist has filed a police report. Now he's got the law involved, okay, against Democrat Jasmine Crockett after she appeared to try and knock a cell phone out of his hand. His phone shouldn't have been in her damn face, okay? I promise you. You walk up in my face with your cell phone all up in my personal space, I'm going to knock it out your hand too, okay? That's how that's going to go. Now, the Texas Democrat is now being accused of assault when she reached for and knocked his cell phone out Tuesday afternoon. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene posted to X condemning Crockett for getting a new Capitol Police escort after she assaulted an independent journalist. Marjorie Taylor Greene, sit your ugly, bad body built self down somewhere. That's what you please need to do, ma'am. The journalist was asking if she condones violence against Tesla. Okay, in a video of the exchange, Charles Downs films Crockett walking in a House office building while talking to Representative Tim Burchett. Downs can be heard trying to ask Crockett about her participation on an anti-Tesla conference call repeatedly before she looks over and is filmed knocking the camera away from her face. That's what anybody would do. You're just going to let somebody put their dirty ass camera or phone all up in your face? Anyway, let me continue. Greene slammed Crockett, who she called the face of the Democrat Party, for hypocrisy with her new security team after she assaulted Downs. Now, the independent journalist who reports for right-wing commentator Laura Loomer later filed an incident report with the Capitol Police. He also filed a complaint with the Office of Congressional Ethics. I'm sure he did. Downs claims that he was assaulted by the Democrat, saying that we're consulting an attorney over filing a lawsuit for assault, battery, and attempted theft. Are y'all kidding me? Are y'all listening to the bullshit? Okay, against the Congresswoman as well. Okay, it's clear elected Democrats have embraced violence against Trump supporters and members of the independent media, even in the halls of Congress. I want y'all to pay attention. Now, I find it all interesting and ironic, to say the least, that Trump supporters are now crying foul and saying that the Democrats are the ones promoting violence towards them. The same thugs that went up in the Capitol with bombs, hitting police officers upside the head with fire extinguishers. An incident that left 2 people dead, one of them an officer, Officer Brian Sicknick, another one a woman by the name of Ashley Babbitt. And also, let's not forget, they bought explosives. On Wednesday, Crockett was filmed walking around the Capitol complex alongside a Capitol Police officer. Jasmine Crockett, who went out of her way to grab my phone, is now roaming Capitol Hill with additional USCP security. This is what the reporter Downs said. It's astonishing that Representative Crockett can just attack a journalist, threaten a United States senator, and still portray herself as the victim. Well, she is the victim of lies, okay, embellishments, and a whole full-on attack just for being a Black woman with some kahunas, okay? Now, with that all being said, we know she really don't have kahunas, but what I'm saying is she stands up for herself, all right? She's got some big balls. Now, with that all being said, goes on to say, she recently attacked me. Senator Cruz and Elon Musk publicly said, the reporter told them this, or posted this on X. Taxpayers shouldn't foot the bill for her security, so I'm taking action. So now they don't want her to have security. Do y'all hear this? Now they're trying to put her in harm's way. See, what they're doing is, I want you all to pay attention. What they're doing is they're trying to demonize this woman, to make her the face of anger, violence, hate, and all of that, to get the MAGA people all in an uproar and angry with her. And now they want to take away her security. What do y'all think that's going to mean? What do you think that's going to mean? And then talking about she's playing the victim. So anyway, Downs was attempting to ask Crockett about her recent comments urging activists on the Tesla takedown. Okay, when she called out saying Elon needs to be taken down. Now, Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene said the Democrats' words were akin to organizing political violence and terrorism. Because she said she wants Elon to be taken down. When she said we need to take him down, how the hell is that organizing political violence and terrorism? Do you all see how they paint these narratives? And they have so much angst when they do it. At the end of the day, they don't say this when the same thing's going on. And also, I want to tell you all something important. I'm going to tell you the main thing that the Republicans are doing right now. Please pay attention. You heard it here first. I'm going to tell you exactly why this is all happening. When did they start going in on Jasmine Crockett? Wasn't it right after the chat link or the chat leak happened with the classified information? You see, they're trying to use a Black woman as a distraction. That's what they're doing. I want you all to really pay attention. They're trying to make her the headlines rather than Pete Hegseth. Okay, rather than talking about what Trump's fumbling, bumbling idiots did, okay, on that text app. And speaking of that, we're going to talk about that because I heard it on Good Information that Trump was really pissed off about it, really specifically at Waltz, even though he's pretending to just adore him in the media and keep his poker face on, acting like it's no big deal. They said he was pissed. That's what they said. We're going to get into that in a second. But anyway, her latest incident comes on the streets or the heels of her highly publicized insult of paralyzed and wheelchair-bound Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who she called Hot Wheels. Crockett made the comment during a speech at a human rights campaign dinner in Los Angeles, and the group is famous for its support of marginalized communities like the disabled. So y'all know we got the governor. Okay, they're just repeating what she said. And then they go on to say the governor was tragically paralyzed from the waist down after an oak tree fell on him while he was jogging in 1984. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm sure she is too. That's definitely tragic. Okay, now despite his paralysis, Abbott has continued to have a profound political career. I am now going off script just so y'all know this is where things get a little off the rails, Crockett said before continuing her speech. Her slamming Abbott quickly earned her the scorn of Republican lawmakers and conservative commentators who posted their outrage online. That's nothing new. They say this woman is trash. That's what Turning Point USA's Charlie Kirk said. Let me tell y'all something. See, I want y'all to really think about something. Now, you see how this man who doesn't look like me called her trash? You see, that's the kind of stuff they do. That's the kind of stuff they do when they go in on a Black person. They'll call you names that they really secretly been wanting to call you all along. And not just you, all Black people. They think we're all trash. This person who said that, okay, yeah, this woman is trash, you see. It's official. Jasmine Crockett, is the dumbest member of Congress. Yeah, they want to label her that because she's really the smartest and the most wittiest, okay? Even beating out AOC, that's a hell of an accomplishment, says Nick Sorter. Okay, she does know that the Texas governor is paralyzed, right? Is she making fun of a paralyzed person? This is horrible. This is what Matt Von Swole wrote. Of course she knows he's paralyzed. Who doesn't know that, idiots? And these same people, they've never said anything about somebody disabled. Well, of course they have. Bunch of idiots and liars. Okay, I'm just so over it at this point. I promise you, I am so damn over it. Let's talk about Trump, though, how he really feels. I'm going to share my screen because they say Trump privately angry, according to sources, more job cuts and car prices expected to jump. Okay, this is all nothing but one huge distraction. Okay, but I won't be distracted. Okay, I'm still going to talk about that chat leak. They can miss me with it. But that's what this is all about. They're trying to get over that, trying to scurry past that and put something else in the news. Whenever there's something going on with them, they always try to make one of us the focal point. I mean, I know y'all should know that by now. I've been telling you this for years, and I've never been proven wrong yet.
News has learned President Trump is privately angry with his national security advisor, Mike Waltz, according to two Republican sources, after Waltz mistakenly added a journalist to that group chat about military strikes in Yemen, despite the president's public defense of Waltz.
And so I think it was very unfair the way they attacked Michael. He's a good person.
The blunder creating a days-long controversy for the White House.
It's embarrassing, right. Yes. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
It comes as a federal judge just ruled against the Trump administration, ordering members of that encrypted group chat on Signal, including Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, to preserve all of their texts from that chat. Hegseth shared specific details about when U.S. fighter jets would take off and when bombs would drop, though he insists none of it was classified.
They know it's not war plans. There's no units, no locations, no routes.
Notably, the judge, James Boasberg, randomly assigned to the case, is the same judge the president once impeached for blocking deportation flights of alleged gang members to El Salvador. Top Republican Senator Roger Wicker today requested an investigation into the Signal chat by the Pentagon's acting inspector general. Attorney General Pam Bondi says a criminal investigation into the leak is unlikely.
It was sensitive information, not classified, and inadvertently released.
And meanwhile, Peter, President Trump just withdrew his nomination for the ambassador to the UN. What's the backstory?
Lester, the president announced that he has asked New York Republican Elise Stefanik to stay in Congress instead of serving at the UN. This is a dramatic reversal. Stefanik was expected to be easily confirmed, but the president expressed concerns about Republicans keeping what is a razor-thin majority in the House. Lester.
Controversial Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. today slashing 10,000 jobs.
We're keenly focused on paring away excess administrators while increasing the number of scientists and frontline health providers.
The cuts include 3,500 employees at the FDA, but not affecting inspectors or drug medical device or food reviewers. 2,400 at the CDC to focus on its core mission of preparing for and responding to epidemics. This on top of the 10,000 other workers gone in Elon Musk's Doge efforts. In all, a quarter of the agency's workforce.
You just can't eliminate a quarter of the workforce and not have some effect on agency operations.
Katie Sandlin, one of those let go in the first wave, says today's news compounds her disillusion.
NIH is not the place that I spent my entire career trying to reach anymore, at least from the outside looking in. That's how it feels.
Meanwhile, in West Texas, where there's a measles outbreak, it's vaccine skeptic Kennedy's words about alternative therapies that may have an impact.
And also cod liver oil, which has high concentrations of vitamin A and vitamin D.
Doctors at Covenant Children's Hospital in Lubbock report a handful of cases, fewer than 10, involving liver damage caused by too much vitamin A. All the patients were unvaccinated. Dr. Anna Montanez is a pediatrician in the area.
Can cod liver oil prevent measles?
No, ma'am.
Can it treat measles?
No, ma'am. The only thing that prevents measles is vaccination.
Yeah, of course they're going to say that whether it's true or not. Of course they're going to say that whether it's true or not. Okay, how many of you all in the chat had your parents or your grandparents tell you to take a spoonful of cod liver oil when you were kids? Okay, we had to take it. It was so nasty. Okay, Vince I Am says, Brad, once in the chat if you had to take cod liver oil when you were a child. Okay, Vince I Am says, Brad was harassing her as she didn't respond to him. Disrespecting her boundaries has consequences and she acted accordingly. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, lots of people saying ones. Yes, okay. One thing we know this government isn't going to do is promote holistic treatments, okay, or herbs or anything like that. That's not what they're going to promote ever, okay? So I have questions as to what they're talking about. Now, with that all being said, another thing is, let's talk about how Trump's AG tried to intimidate little Miss Jasmine Crockett. Okay, let's talk about it. Because I don't like her arse either. Okay, I sure don't. And Trump just hired her because of her looks. Okay, her little blonde hair and all that. That's all that was, because she clearly ain't qualified as far as I'm concerned. Please pay attention.
What about these vandals on Tesla vehicles and dealerships?
This is domestic terrorism. And Maria, now you have this Congresswoman Crockett who is calling for attacks on Elon Musk on her birthday. Let's take him out on my birthday, she says. And yet she turns and says, oh, I'm not calling for violence.
She wasn't calling for violence, and she didn't say let's take him out. She said let's take him down. There is a significant difference. You see how lies get out? You see how lies get out? This woman is such a Karen. Okay, that's exactly what she is.
Well, she is an elected public official. And so she needs to tread very carefully because nothing will happen to Elon Musk. And we're going to fight to protect all of the Tesla owners throughout this country.
And let me tell you something else. Another reason Chief Jones said she was Trump's lawyer for impeachment. Let me tell you all something else. The reason that Trump and herself are calling it terrorism for people to be vandalizing Tesla or whatever, it's because Trump has a vested interest in Tesla. He has a vested interest in Tesla because Elon Musk owes Trump $250 million. Isn't that how much money he's supposedly given Trump for his campaign? He hasn't given Trump all that money yet. He hasn't given Trump all of that money yet. And Elon's taken a big hit because remember, I told you last week, I believe it was, that Elon supposedly, according to reports, lost $200 billion out of his $320 billion that he's supposed to be worth. They said that's the biggest loss for one person in history. That's what they say. Now, Tesla's taken a hit. Okay, the stock has gone down. Trump wants his $250 million that Elon promised him. So Trump is making all of these threats, talking about charging people to domestic terrorism and sending them somewhere. Where did he say he was going to send those people? He said he was going to send them somewhere. Was it Guantanamo Bay? I can't remember, but he did say it, honey. Trump is a hot mess.
And it's just basic safety. Once again, domestic terrorism is going to come to a stop in our country.
I just want to say that I have never promoted violence whatsoever, yet I've also never made excuse for those violent actors such as the ones on January 6th. So Pam Bondi, if you have an issue with terrorism, maybe you should talk to your boss about locking back up those guys that he let out that participated in January 6th.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Jasmine Crockett just laid it all out on the line. No sugarcoating, no fluff.
Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. At the end of the day, so she had a whole lot to say. And then sitting up here acting like this woman was really calling for violence. No, she absolutely wasn't. Okay, so now let's talk about JD Vance. All right? Because let's not forget that Trump wants Greenland. He wants to own it for whatever nefarious reason. So as Vance heads to Greenland for Trump's land grab, okay, hopes to get Putin's thumbs up. The Russian president has said that it's no business of his whether his American counterpart wants to seize the vast Arctic territory. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen, honey. This is all a hot mess. I don't know why anybody wants to own Greenland, honey. Okay. It's two places that I know damn sure I don't want to go. Greenland and Iceland. Okay, please pay attention. Here we go.
On the eve of an unwelcome scaled-back U.S. visit to Greenland, the competition over the Arctic is heating up. As Vice President J.D. Vance, Second Lady Usha Vance, National Security Advisor Mike.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with that video. Hold on. It's like really choppy for some reason. Let me go to another one. Here we go. It's really choppy for whatever reason. Here we go. Now let's try this one, because that one was going in and out for whatever reason.
Vice President Vance and his wife Usha Vance on a visit to Greenland as President Trump insists that its territory should become part of the U.S. Our senior national correspondent Terry Moran is on the scene there for us in Greenland. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Lindsay. Well, Vice President Vance arrives at that American Air Base this afternoon, and people are rattled. A lot of people laughed when he declared that the U.S. will take over Greenland. Now they know he's serious, and many see this trip as anything but friendly. This morning, Vice President J.D. Vance and the Second Lady will touch down in Greenland for a trip that's seen here as far more than a friendly visit. Vance's trip to a U.S. Space Force base in the far north of Greenland comes as President Trump makes clear the U.S. aims to take control here.
We need Greenland for national security and international security. So I think we'll go as far as we have to go. We need Greenland.
Greenland is an independent territory within the Kingdom of Denmark. Rich in rare earth minerals, the island is also strategically positioned to counter rivals like Russia and China, who have both been building up a military presence in the Arctic.
the world needs us to have Greenland, including Denmark. Denmark has to have us have Greenland. And, we'll see what happens. But if we don't have Greenland, we can't have great international security.
Trump has repeatedly raised the possibility of purchasing Greenland or taking it over, quote, one way or the other. The Danish prime minister firing back, saying Greenland belongs to Greenlanders. Greenland's prime minister adamant, saying we are not for sale, and calling today's visit by the vice president highly aggressive. Here in Nuuk, Greenland's capital, you can hear the concern about what all this might mean. Do you think this is pressure on you guys, though?
Yeah, it's very much. Yeah, for everybody.
Second Lady Usha Vance had at first planned to attend a dog sled race and promote cultural ties, but those plans were dropped as the criticisms mounted. Many people here do want to see a deeper, enhanced relationship with the U.S. There's a lot of resentment against Denmark, but an American takeover of Greenland, polls show and conversations confirm most people reject that. Rebecca?
All right, Terry, some big.
They need to sit all the way down somewhere, honey, talking about Greenland. Trump saying we need it for national security. Trump, please sit down. Hold on. Let me go to this next video. Now, hold on. Let me cue this real quick. Okay, they say some of the people in Greenland say the U.S. is trying to bully them. And I want you all to pay attention because that's how Trump's absolutely coming off, because that's the same thing that's in Canada, that they will not be bullied by the United States. And then Julius Malema over there in South Africa said that he will not be bullied. South Africa will not be bullied by Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Now, why is everybody saying that they're being bullied by the U.S.? Well, because they are. I told you all Trump's trying to run this country like he's John Gotti or somebody, honey. It's only so much people are going to take before a war breaks out. Okay, so just be ready. That's all I'm saying. Now, Skeletor fan says, Lisa Cabrera doesn't like me anymore. My messages no longer show up on her live streams. Skeletor, I can assure you that Lisa has no problem with you. Okay, if your messages aren't showing up, beloved, that's usually something to do with ScrewTube. Okay, that's usually something to do with ScrewTube. They're usually behind it. Some people's messages don't show up sometimes, beloved. Okay, I don't think Lisa has any problem with you. College of Natural Health Sciences said, bye-bye, Greenland. Okay. Trump said it belongs to him now, honey. Make it all make sense. And thank you for your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate you. Now, let's go to this next clip. Because they said Big Brother is bullying Greenland.
ABC News 4 correspondent is not. She joins us from Greenland's capital, Molly. What can you tell us about the sentiment there ahead of the vice president coming up to Greenland?
Well, first off, I'm very glad I'm not going to be here for 10 days at the end of January. I think it's a little bit toastier than it would have been a couple months ago. But it is well below freezing this morning. And I got to tell you, when the vice president, the second lady, the energy secretary, Mike Waltz, the national security advisor, Joe, and the whole high-level U.S. delegation head to the Northwest, it's going to be way colder up at that space base. But after a week of intense political pressure, both here and from officials in Copenhagen, the Greenlanders we've been speaking to in Nuuk, it's cold, speaking to in Nuuk, say this new scaled back visit is something they can actually live with. Take a look.
This morning, the much anticipated, much talked about, and now much scaled back trip to Greenland officially underway. Vice President J.D. Vance, the second lady, along with a delegation including National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, took off from Joint Base Andrews this morning.
We need Greenland for national security and international security. So I think we'll go as far as we have to.
Personnel stationed there. The trip, originally billed as a cultural exchange, now a limited national security-focused mission. Greenlandic Member of Parliament Kupanik Olsen says any relationship with the U.S. must be about collaboration.
If you met the Vice President, J.D. Vance, what would you say to him?
I would say, please do not take us.
We are open for negotiations, but it should be on our behalf.
The heightened interest comes as competition in the Arctic is heating up.
There's just much more activity in the Arctic these days from Russia and China. The U.S. should have a growing presence there.
Russia's President Putin speaking at the Arctic conference Thursday, reminding his neighbors that President Trump means business, saying everybody knows very well about the U.S. plans to take over Greenland. But this morning, after pushback from authorities here, the uninvited American visitors wouldn't be coming after all.
What did it feel like when they pulled out?
Relief, I think. A lot of people, the shoulders could let go.
Mm-hmm. Anders Larsen runs a water taxi company here in Nuuk.
We've always looked at America like the nice big brother to help you out. And now it's like the big brother's bullying you.
Now, Judd, the most recent polling that we could find was back in January, possibly around the inauguration, but about 6% of Greenlanders say they would actually want to be American. I imagine, and we don't have the polling to prove it yet, I imagine that number has changed just in the last couple of weeks. A lot of people we're speaking to, they're like Anders, who was just in our piece, that water taxi founder and CEO, who says he respects America. He has always loved looking up to America, the American dream. They want American tourists to come here. They want to collaborate on business with America, but they don't want to be American. And interestingly, that MP we spoke with as well talks a lot about how she kind of didn't realize maybe how much value they had here. They said Greenlanders are kind of waking up that actually, if the U.S. is so interested, who else might be interested in doing business as long as it benefits the people here, Joe?
All right, NBC's Molly Hunter, go inside. It's cold out there. Thank you so much. Live in Green.
Okay. Thank you, 100 Black Rock, for becoming a YouTube member. Beloved, I appreciate you. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, you all know that Elon's father came out and spoke on his son's behalf, saying that his son was not, absolutely unequivocally, was not a racist, which I found interesting because I happened to see a video titled The Racist Family Legacy of Elon Musk. Okay. But his father said his son absolutely is not. And then, not to mention, I heard that his grandfather, I believe it was, is a Yahtzee. Okay, with an N. So that probably explains why he did that Yahtzee with an N salute. Now, the reason I bring that up is because they're making such a big to-do about Jasmine Crockett saying Governor Abbott has Hot Wheels, or calling him Hot Wheels. They didn't even get that mad when Elon did the Yahtzee salute. Okay, are y'all paying attention? Because I sure am. Okay, and I find it all amusing. Okay, Easy, thank you for your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Tisa Dan said, I love how you get around certain words, Queen. You're brilliant. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Okay, so listen, I'm about to be out of here. Did you all hear about the student that was hazed to death? Did you all hear about that? Once in the chat if you heard about that story, about the Black student who was hazed to death in college. Skeletor fan said he loves that game, Yahtzee. Yeah, I used to love it too. I haven't played in a while. Okay, I see most people putting ones. I see a couple of twos. Okay, so I'm going to be doing an update, doing a video on that. I'm going to be doing an upload on that. Now, listen, if I'm posting these uploads, y'all need to be watching them because that upload from yesterday, I know y'all's behinds didn't get the notifications, apparently, because it's got very low views. But in case you missed it, I uploaded something about Russell Simmons yesterday. Let me go back and see, honey, because I can't even remember. I have about 4 uploads to do today, which I'll start posting. I'll start posting those right after this broadcast. Okay, likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so I did one about Diddy with his nasty self, making somebody give him, taste his cucumber and then putting things in their mouth. Oprah being subpoenaed, okay, about the Russell Simmons case. with her low down nefarious self. And then I think you all saw the one. See, Tony Busby. Oh, yeah. Okay, and I posted that one a couple of days ago about Tony Busby. So anyway, with that all being said, Selmore says, does the Republican Party need a black president? Honey, I don't know what they need. I know what they need to do. They need to sit down somewhere. Okay, so anyway, y'all make sure y'all checking out these uploads. All right, so I'm about to get into it. Everybody like and share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure you double check to make sure you're still subscribed, especially if you're not receiving the notifications. For some of you, I have been emailing you the links. Okay, so with that all being said, Queen Sam said, I watched Queen. Okra is somewhere trying to get rid of evidence. She absolutely is. Okay. Vince I Am says, ScrewTube Popo is really doing something to the Queen's channel and videos. Yes, you already know they are. Okay. TC Dan said, Queen, did you see the story about Marvin Sapp telling the ushers to close the doors? I didn't see that, but I'll look into it. Thank you. I'll look into it. Okay, so anyway, with that I've been said, I'm out of here. Listen, I hope you all enjoyed this live, honey. You got your political news. Now I'm about to post some celebrity gossip. Okay, I'm about to post some celebrity gossip for those of y'all who like to be messy. Okay, I got some stuff to post about Kanye, Suge Knight, T.I., Will Smith, Diddy, you name it. Okay, I'm posting it. So with that all being said, oh, you know what? I am going live later. I'm going to post those uploads, but I think I'm going live later because I want to talk about something or somebody who did something that I thought was so nefarious. And then they act like it's okay that they did it. Yeah, I have to talk about it, okay? And again, this is another Black YouTube beef. Okay, it's another YouTube beef, but this specific person said something about the other person that I thought they were just all out of pocket for. Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about that, honey. I might have me a panel discussion on it, okay, because that's how annoyed I was about it. It's really none of my business, but you know, the fact that it's publicly posted and it's on the internet and people are speaking on it, I'm gonna speak on it too, because I have an issue with it. Okay, I have an issue with it. And I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but it's concerning Tasha K. Y'all know I like Tasha K, honey. I don't care who doesn't like Tasha K, the Queen does. Okay? I absolutely love Tasha K. So anybody that doesn't can sit down somewhere. All right, so that all being said, that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, somebody out here talking greasy about Tasha K. Right, and making threats and all that. I mean, I'm just wondering why ScrewTube hasn't taken down their channel, or at least that video, for community guidelines violations. Sounds nefarious. I mean, making whole threats of putting hands on people. But anyway, with that all being said, Skeletor. Skeletor fan said, Wig is to blame for it. Woo, honey, y'all are messy boots. Okay? Selmore said, let's talk about it. We're going to talk about it, honey. All right? We is going to talk about it. Okay? And somebody said Funky Geneva. That's exactly who it is. Okay? 100 Black Rock said, we appreciate you, your finest. That happened by way of a credit card update. Cash App is my choice for you to get every dime. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. I certainly appreciate you. And I do appreciate y'all when y'all send those Cash Apps and all that too. Because yes, then I don't have to share a dime of it with ScrewTube. Okay, TC Dan says ScrewTube seems to do whatever it wants. Honey, you ain't never lied. Above about that drama said Wigomania. Okay, y'all leave the wigs alone. Y'all leave the wigs alone. Queen Sam said wigs 1, 2, and 3. Attack of the wigs, honey. The wigs are always after the queen. Why y'all think the wigs always be coming for me? I find it all interesting. I'm over here just trying to mind my own little business. Okay, they won't let me be great. Panther Strike said, Queen, thank you. Beautiful and intelligent as ever. Waiting for the next live today. Another beat? Yes, it is, honey. We're going to get into it. Okay. Dead Cruiser Beach area said wigs everywhere. Okay. So anyway, with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Okay, enjoy your strong end, not your weekend, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Okay, now, like I said, the Queen's going to be doing some uploads after this for y'all to check out. And then I'll be back live later on sometime this evening, probably around 6. Okay, because I'm going to the gym to work out. Honey. The Queen has to lose weight, honey. I notice I'm getting a little fat around my face, around my neck, honey. I just can't do it. Okay, I can't have any of it. Y'all not going to be up here clowning me. Okay, and so anyway, honey, I got to go work out. I'm on a smoothie fast. Please pay attention. Tasha K did like a 13 or 14-day smoothie fast a couple of weeks ago. I should have done it with them. Okay, so I wouldn't be in it by myself. But anyway, alas, I'm up out of here. I love y'all to life. Okay, y'all make sure y'all look out for the Look, Skeleton fan said, I inspired the Queen from yesterday. Skeleton fan, you didn't hardly inspire me, honey, because unlike you, when I go to the gym, I actually put in work. You said you was at the gym pretending to work out. You said you were at the gym pretending to work out, honey. Okay? All right. And I've been working out quiet as it's kept. Now, I fell off for a few months, more than a few. I fell off for quite a minute. Please pay attention. But now I'm back in the saddles again, honey. The Queen's out here working hard, honey. Don't y'all be hating. Okay, Aqua Girl Rising said work out for her too. I will, honey. Don't worry. What y'all think I be listening to when I'm working out? Y'all wouldn't even dare guess. Y'all wouldn't even guess, honey. Okay? What y'all, ones in the chat, I'm going to give away a free ebook if anybody guesses it. And then we up out because it is Friday. Okay? We didn't do the trivia today. But anyone venture to guess what I listen to when I'm working out? TC Dan said your own songs. Nope. Nope. Not my own song. Claudette said 50. Oh, yes, that's one of them. 50. Yes. Many men. Many men. That's one. JFG said DMX. Yep, that's another. All right, Roddy said the gym is his therapy. Yeah, it is good therapy, beloved. It absolutely is. And I'm trying to get these abs together, okay? Please pay attention. Roddy said Kanye. Nah, I don't listen to Kanye. I love Kanye, but I don't listen to him when I'm working out. Aqua Girl Roddy said trap music. You know, sometimes Panther Strike. Now, I know damn well. Panther Strike. Now, I know. You are joking, right? Let me put this up on here. Panther Strike said classical. Did you say classical? Now, you know darn well the Queen's not working out. I can't get a vibe doing that. Classical. What am I listening to? Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, Mozart? Now, I do listen to classical music, honey, but not when I'm working out. More so when I'm meditating or deep thought or when I'm practicing metacognition. Then I may listen to classical music, okay? But when I'm at the gym, I didn't know. Honey, let me tell y'all something. Okay, Aqua Girl Ryder said trap music. Okay, that's a good one because I do listen to some trap music. JFG also said Tupac. Definitely Tupac specifically. Hit him up. Okay. Above all the drum said push it. Honey, not Salt and Pepper. You took it way back. No, I don't listen to that. Okay. I mean, I like the song, but I don't listen to that. Panther Strike said mumble rap. Nope, absolutely. I don't listen to mumble rap when I'm working out. Aqua Girl Ryder said Meg Thee Stallion. No. Darnell said Katy Perry and a little sexy red. Honey, I know you didn't. Aquarius says Whitney Houston. Let me say this. I do listen to Whitney Houston, just not when I'm working out. I listen to Whitney Houston when I'm at home relaxing and I may be doing some research or just thinking about Whitney Houston because, honey, I love me some Whitney Houston. Or practicing my vocal skills. That's when I sing Whitney Houston and listen to Whitney Houston. Meg Thee Stallion, I listen to Meg partially because I'm usually, now y'all gonna be shocked to hear this, who I actually listen to more so than anybody when I'm working out, at least for the past week, is Glorilla. Glorilla and King Von. Because to me, they rap alike. To me, they have the same type of cadence. Like Glorilla to me is like a female version of King Von, okay, with her delivery. But I listen to Glorilla, okay? It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees. I ain't got no ninja, and no ninja ain't got me. That's what I be listening to, y'all. Don't judge me, honey. Don't judge me. I know JMG said Uncle Luke. No, I don't listen to Uncle Luke. College of Natural Health Sciences said Queen Bee listened to King Kong Consciousness. You know what? To be honest, I absolutely do listen to Dr. Umar sometimes when I'm working out. No joke. I literally do. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos of people I like. I might be listening to Dr. Umar specifically. Okay, I might see what Lisa Cabrera has posted. So yes, sometimes I listen to my own videos, honey. Okay, sometimes I listen to my own videos because I get a kick out of my own self, just so you know. Not Aretha Franklin. Y'all are hilarious. Van Halen, honey. How did you know the Queen likes Van Halen? Okay, specifically David Lee Roth. Okay, for all y'all putting Sexy Red, honey, I repeat, I do not like Dusty Red. Okay, I do not like Dusty Red. I just don't. I don't like Dusty Red. I don't like Sukiyana. I don't like those two. TC Dan said Lady Gaga. Honey, you know damn well the Queen is not listening to Lady Gaga, okay, at any stretch. I'm not listening to Lady Gaga. I'm not listening to Katy Perry. I'm not listening to Taylor Swift. I don't even know why people listen to Taylor Swift. I mean, I can't really talk about her because I've never really listened to her music. I'm just wondering what the big deal is about. Okay, I just wonder what the big deal is all about with her because I just don't see it. Okay, I thought Kanye told her best when he said, I'm going to let you finish. Okay, Roddy says Glow got that cadence in her raps. Yes, absolutely. And that's what I like about it. Yes, I like the way her delivery. I like it. Okay, Vince I am said, Queen, that sounds like WAP. No, I'm not listening to WAP. Please sit down somewhere, Vince I am. Roddy said, don't you find this suspicious? All right, Dr. Umar. So anyway, I'm out of here. Somebody said Black Sabbath. Skeletor fan, I have never listened to Black Sabbath one day in my entire life, okay? Not Black Sabbath. Somebody said Led Zeppelin. Now, I do like Led Zeppelin. I don't listen to them at the gym, but I do like them. TC Dan says Adele. I do like Adele. Don't really listen to her much. Uncle Girl Robin said Atlantic Star. Now, I like Atlantic Star, but I'm not listening to them at the gym. Roddy said funk music. Okay. Above all the drum said Black Sabbath is a mover. I really have never listened to them. Okay. I never listened to them. You know, and here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, and then I'm gonna go because y'all know I go on forever. One of my favorite rock groups would have to be Journey. One of my favorite rock groups, I would have to say, like one of my all-time seriously favorite rock groups would have to be Journey. And I'm talking about the Journey with Steve Perry as the lead singer. Okay, I'm old school. I like Journey. TC Dan said Juanita Bynum. It's funny that you brought up Juanita Bynum because somebody was asking me about her yesterday. But nah, I don't listen to gospel music when I'm working out, okay? Only time I listen to gospel music is probably Sundays when I'm riding in the car, and that's all they're playing until 12 o'clock p.m. on Sundays, okay? If I listen to gospel music, let me just tell y'all something. If y'all hear the Queen listening to gospel music, that just means that something's wrong. Okay, the Queen's going through something. If you come by my house and you hear me playing gospel music, that means something's wrong. Either somebody died, I got bills I can't pay, or I'm going through something. Somebody done broke the Queen's heart. Honey, ain't nobody breaking the Queen's heart, honey. I'm the one breaking the hearts out here in these streets, just Let's just keep it a book. Hope my man's not watching. I'm just joking. No, but seriously, I don't really be listening to gospel music like that anymore. I love gospel music, but I just really don't listen to it often these days. And when I do, like I said, usually it's because something's wrong, okay? Usually there's some type of funeral procession going on somewhere. So anyway, with that all being said, Lisa said the blues. I listen to the blues sometimes. Sometimes I sing them. All right, so anyway, let me get up out of here. Y'all doing the most, okay? And just by the way, for FYI, we will be on the spiritual channel this weekend, okay? Or this strong end. We'll be on the spiritual channel Saturday and Sunday. I'll be on there. All right, so keep that in mind for those of you who follow that channel, specifically if you are members of that channel. You don't want to miss out on your spiritual vitamins. So with that all being said, and without further ado, I'm about to be up out of here. Thank you, College of Natural Health Sciences, for your contribution to the channel. Said Queen Bee, listen to Umar Snow Bunny. Yeah, I absolutely do. All right, I like Dr. Umar, okay? I like Dr. Umar. Okay, so anyway, I love you all to life. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you all later around 6 o'clock for the next live. Don't forget to check out the uploads, and I will talk to you all again soon, beloveds. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me?